Hola, Manuel Barrera. Meme. Uh, I'll try to keep it short, but I'll be honest with you, once I start talking, I kind of forget I need to stop. Uh, I would tell you a joke, but I really don't know any. Not that I can remember anyhow. But, I made some predictions, and you can go back and look at on my website, mbarrera.com. Uh, and I was pretty close to right. In fact, I stated that Ivan Sanchez probably would hit some. I would be surprised if he hit 35%. He got 37, so I was close there. Uh, on the Latinos, which is really what I concentrated on, uh, pretty much predicted everybody that would be on a runoff. But the one that surprised me is Julian Ramirez, and actually another one was I believe his last name is Davis. Davis is a Tea Party, a black minister that's part of the Tea Party, dark, hardcore Republican. Julian Ramirez is also a Republican. I believe that there was a high Republican turnout, and that's what gave Whitmire those large numbers. If they can't beat us with Republicans, they're going to beat us with Democrats that, I don't know what the hell those people are promising them, but I can tell you right now, Republicans don't do anything for free. So later, if John Whitmire wins, uh, but pretty much every Latino that I thought that was going to make a runoff did. Holly Flynn, I'm surprised that she didn't do better. She got the Houston Chronicle endorsement, but several years ago they trashed her and other Latinos and Latinas for months and months, and I don't think people forget that. And so, in fact, they surprised me that they endorsed her. And the other problem that Holly Flynn had is that Holly Flynn is not necessarily Spanish name, and Vilseca is really not Spanish. It's in Spain, but it's a different language that's different enough. So I imagine a lot of Latinos did not know that she was a Latina. Then the one that get an idea as to how many Latinos voted. Look at the at large five. That guy didn't do anything. Didn't have a website. Uh, he did interview with the Chronicle, uh, but he got almost 24% of the vote. That's about how many Latinos voted in this last election. Here in District J, I actually ran the numbers, and now after today, when I got the last batch of voters, uh, a little bit over 20% of the voters in District J were Spanish surname. It could be 1 or 2% higher or lower. It's kind of hard to tell. Especially some of the South Americans. Betancourt is a very common last name in Central America, but for people like me, we don't consider Betancourt to be a Spanish last name. But in South America, people that come from South America, there's a lot of people from the Middle East, from Germany, from other places that have moved there, but they speak Spanish, so they're considered Latinos or Latinas. But Holly Flynn, I think just people didn't realize she was a Latina. Uh, District J, maybe, maybe next election, a Latino or Latina can win it, but not without a coalition. They're going to have to either work with the Asians, work with the blacks, or work with the Republicans. But there's less and less Republicans here in District J, so it's going to be hard. Not impossible, but there's the thing about Republicans, they're like me. They're old, and you know what happens to old people? We die. So it's a dying tribe. You know, if we're going to call it still Democrats and Republicans tribes, it's a dying tribe. So not only that, the young Republicans don't have children. So I'm not sure. I think it's a dying party. So runoff controller Chris Holland's going to win. Plummer's going to win at large. Uh, it would be with Roy Morales. You know, I wasn't sure if Roy Morales would win or get into a runoff, but he did. You know, he runs quite often. He's never won. I think the Chronicle or one of the news media said Orlando Sanchez never wins, but you know that's not true. Orlando Sanchez was a at-large council member for 6 years. He came within a few votes of being mayor, and he was also the Republican county treasurer for years and years until Democrats won. And I think that's when Lina Hidalgo won the county judge seat. So, you know, he's been in elected office for numerous years. Uh, Richard Cantu, you know, it depends. It depends who gets behind him. There's going to be less Hispanics that come out to vote. It never fails. They will not come back out to vote, not in the same percentage. You may have 15, 14%. And you can see it in district age. That happens all the time. In district age, you would get a Latino or a Latina that would get into a runoff, and the Heights, the white people there, the progressives, the Republicans, whatever you want to call them, uh, I don't know if there's much difference between them, but they would always, in that runoff, they get to choose who the district age council person was going to be. So it's it kind of took a little bit of the Heights out of district age, and I still believe Mario is going to win that. So the other one that let me see who else. Julian. I don't think Julian will win. Melanie Miles. In fact, I'll be voting for Melanie Miles. She, you know, after she was actually my first choice. I did vote for Conchita Reyes because I promised her that I would. I've known her. Well, I've known of her for a long time. She used to be on Ballet Folklorico. Uh, you know, with Nelly Fraga. Nelly Fraga and Felix Fraga are godparents of my youngest child. So I knew of her. Certainly, I knew her aunt, Crazy Science, and she's also related to Ben Reyes. I'm not sure how, but you know, I'm sorry she didn't make it. But we have Richard, we have Orlando, we have the District Age, we have Julian Ramirez, Roy Morales. Uh, to be honest with you, I don't think any of them are going to win. Not at the at large. I don't think any of the Latinos are going to win at controller or at large. Uh, so see you in a day or two. And you know, one of the things that I'm doing is people don't read, and my eyes are getting they're not as good as they used to be. People do not read, and old people, us people that like to read, we got to realize that if we're going to communicate with people, we may have to do it via like what I'm doing or through a podcast. And I don't like podcasts. I don't even know why people listen to it unless you stick it on your radio or you put it on your telephone and you listen to it while you drive. Well, I don't drive, so and if I sit down and I start listening to something like that, I'll fall asleep. But you know, that's me. Maybe other people are different. In background, I believe it's a Hindu holiday that's coming up, having to do with lights, or maybe colors. So you know, I don't know all their holidays. But until the next time, Altehuacho Cucaracho, Manuel Barrera, Meme. Ciao.